up guys, it's Bebe. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna do another very chill talking type video. In my last video about why I'm scaling back on events this year, I got a few comments asking just for more personal content, and I realized I do kind of just stick to festivals and music and vlog related videos. So I'm gonna make that a goal for this year, just to do some videos that are less, you know, music, festivals, working, all that good stuff, and more just getting to know me and my personal life. Although there are a lot of music industry related questions in here that I'm always happy to answer. But basically I asked you guys just to leave me random questions that do not have to be festival related, can be anything at all, and they're all anonymous, and I thought I would throw them together in a little Q&A for you guys. So I won't be getting to all of them because they were quite a few, but I'm gonna get to as many as I can, and I hope this helps you get to know me a little bit better in my life and my work. So without further ado, let's jump right into the tea. This first one is, do you think it's hard to make it in the music business even for a normal job? I guess by normal job, this person means not as an artist, like just on the business side of things. Garrett's FaceTiming me, one moment. I'm filming a YouTube video. Can I call you back?
Sorry. Yep, I have a YouTube video.
Say hi to the people.
I'm gonna be running the blog one day, don't worry. Bye everybody.
Okay, bye, love you. As far as making it, I don't know if you mean getting a job or maintaining like a work-life balance, but the thing about music is that it's tricky in terms of obtaining a job, just because most of it is network based, and it's not like other industries where there's a million and one listings on like LinkedIn. A lot of times jobs just come up based off of people knowing each other and putting people forward for roles that they think they would be good in. Like, it's very informal most of the time. So I do think it's hard to make it in terms of obtaining a job for that reason. And the work-life balance is definitely tricky because again, it's just so abnormal. Like, you will be working a lot of shows, super late nights. And it kind of sucks because sometimes, like, when I was really in deep with doing shows all the time, like, I would get home at sunrise and ruin my next day, and it's really hard to maintain your friendships outside of music when you work in music, because you're just constantly like go, 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 and your schedule's crazy. So that's what I have to say about that. This one says, love your videos and how honest you are. Thank you. Are you going to EDC with a big group? Also more videos with Obi, please. Obi is a fan favorite. I am going to EDC with a group of, I have an RV with 1, 2, 3, 4, so there's 5 of us total in an RV. I also have other friends going that are not at my specific campsite. So there will be a good group of us, definitely not as big of a group as 2022. That was so many people. Not everyone's returning, but definitely a good group. I'm so excited for EDC this year, and I will be sure to include Obi in those videos because he is staying in my RV. Pray for me. What do you do to work at home? So again, I work in music. I do marketing and digital content, heavy focus on like video, so TikTok and Reels. And I do it for a company that puts on local shows here, but also now shows in other cities in the US. And it's all house music, more so underground house, and I love it. It's super cool. I also freelance, so I do a lot of marketing and social media work for other brands and companies, and that is how I get to work at home. I love it, and I wouldn't change a thing. I don't miss working in an office, and I just think work from home is best for my brain and how I like to work, so I'm very grateful. Is Garrett moving to New York, or are you moving to Colorado? Garrett is moving to New York. This was a big question. The original thought was for me to move to Colorado, but for a multitude of different reasons, it just makes sense with our current timeline for him to come here. But one day we might go live in Colorado again. We both love it, and it's a beautiful place. So we'll see, but for now he is moving here, and he will be here in March. More Garrett questions. Are you and Garrett in a long distance relationship? How do you two maintain it? Yes, we are. We have been long distance for about a year now, which is insane. We are very lucky that we see each other quite often, not just for festivals, but we really put in a lot of effort to go see each other. Especially him, because his job is a lot more flexible remote wise, so he has come to visit me many times. Other than visiting each other, we text all day long, not like every fucking 2 minutes, but we stay in contact all day. We FaceTime pretty much every day. Sometimes not every day, but we FaceTime very often. Do FaceTime dates. There's a lot of ways to get creative with long distance, you know? So luckily we live in a generation where technology exists and we don't have to communicate via snail mail, because I think I would lose my fucking mind if I had to do that. What is Scooter's favorite toy? Scooter, here he is. He has many favorite toys, but I would say his favorite is he has this little mouse. I don't know where it is. It's this mouse that you can open and put like catnip inside of it. He's a big fan of that one. Any advice for getting into the music industry? Would love to see more content about this in general. Can definitely do more videos on this for you guys. I didn't realize so many of you were interested in this. My advice would be to dip into your local scene first and make friends along the way. I always joke around and say that the reason I have my job now is because I make friends everywhere I go, and that's quite literally how I got my job. So going into your local scene, you know, a lot of venues will have street teams or college program like promoters. That's a really good way to start. Internships are great, but you're gonna be working for free most likely, so that's a little tricky if you don't have the financial means to do that. And just have some sort of entrepreneurial path for yourself. Like for me, it was YouTube. I had a blog for a while too, and that's something that I could show on a resume when applying to jobs. Like when I applied to my internship, I did A&R as an intern at a label for a while, and when I applied, that was the first job where I ever put my YouTube in the application. And my boss, when we were talking on the phone through interviewing, he said that he really appreciated that, and he actually looked through my videos and saw that I clearly knew my shit about dance music, and that's one of the reasons that he hired me. And from that point on, like, I started taking YouTube really seriously, and you never know where that could take you. So definitely have something kind of like entrepreneurial. 5 favorite sets from 2022. It's gonna be so hard. Let me run through my camera roll, like my videos, but let's see, because that is very, very tricky. Okay, Hardwell at Ultra, just because that was so iconic. Slander at Mirage was so much fun. I might have to give you guys more than 5, I'm sorry. Okay, Subfocus and Wilkinson's back-to-back at EDC Vegas. That was unbelievable. Tin Liquor at Forest. That set was so ridiculous. It was so good. Oh my god, Fred again back-to-back. Swedish House Mafia, the little pop-up in New York. One of the best raves I've been to in years, I swear to god. Fortet also showed up. That was fucking crazy. Probably Slander at Red Rocks. Dimension at Red Rocks. That's definitely more than 5 now, so I'm gonna stop, but you get the idea. What are some bucket list festivals you have that you have never attended yet? I also got a similar question through DM saying that, do I have any plans to do any European festivals? And this kind of falls into the same bucket for me, because most of my bucket list festivals are in Europe or outside of the US. I really want to do Let It Roll in the Czech Republic. I really want to do Tomorrowland. That's my goal for next year. I think I'm going to skip EDC and Forest and just do Tomorrowland. In many, many years from now, I would like to do Burning Man. Why can't I fucking think of other festivals right now? I definitely want to do a cruise festival. I'm sure you guys by now have seen the EDC announcement. Don't think I'm gonna make that happen this year, but maybe next year. Rhythm and Vines looks really cool. I would love to do like Creamfields or something in the UK, just because I miss my homeland. I don't know why I'm blanking on every other festival right now, but I think that's a good list. Can you name some EDM related companies to look at for jobs looking for corporate / behind the scenes work? Beyond Insomniac, I'm not sure where to apply. It really depends what you want. I mean, if you want to do events and you don't want to go the Insomniac route, go looking, again, your hometown, your local venues. Look at smaller boutique festivals. If you're looking to do more label work and management work, I would just look on websites of labels and management companies. A lot of times they'll have a careers tab, and definitely subscribe to job newsletters. I'm subscribed to, like, ever since I was doing my job hunt in this industry, I've been subscribed to like Doors Open with Resident Advisor is a great one. They are always sending new roles, so definitely look at that. How are you doing? This is such a simple yet lovely question. Thank you so much for asking. I'm doing okay. This is not my favorite time of year, if I'm being completely honest. I have the worst seasonal depression ever, and it's not fun, but I'm doing okay, and I'm excited for things that are coming in the near future. And I'm excited to move, and I'm excited to have a new home. I'm excited to have Garrett here, and other than that, I'm feeling very blessed. I'm having a very blessed first couple weeks at work, and I'm feeling good. I have a lot to be thankful for. First time Forest, should I get there early? Does it really matter? get there on Wednesday. Some people now get there on Tuesday. I don't really understand that, besides, I mean, getting a good camping spot, of course, but Wednesday is like pre-party. There's fun stuff going on. It allows you to get settled and like explore the camp, like Main Street side of things. So I would say get there on Wednesday, but it is not the end of the world if you get there Thursday, so to each their own. What are some neighborhoods you recommend for first timers moving to New York City? This really depends what you want, because so many of the neighborhoods are so vastly different and have vastly different budgets. I lived in East Village for 3 years. I lived in West Village for 1 year, and those are great if you're young. However, they are very expensive and older buildings, so they're not as nice. If you're more someone who's a bit more artsy, and definitely if you're into raving, I highly recommend moving out to Brooklyn, East Williamsburg, Bushwick. There's a lot of fun raves and stuff going on there. It really just depends what you want. I mean, I'm not gonna say where I live right now neighborhood wise. I'll tell you guys as soon as I move, but just for safety reasons, I never say what neighborhood I live in. But where I live right now, I absolutely love, and I'm gonna miss it for sure. I didn't think I would like it this much when I moved here, because I moved from the village, so I was like, I loved it down there, but I can honestly say I like it up here so much more. If you want like kind of the basic ass neighborhood, most people who are not from here and are moving here for the first time move to like Murray Hill, Kips Bay, like Midtown East, that area. Personally, I wouldn't recommend it. I just don't like the vibe up there. It's very like finance bro, frat bro. I'm just not a fan, but that's like the basic place that most people move to when they move here from out of town. Again, if you're more of an artsy person, I highly recommend Brooklyn. I wouldn't do Manhattan. Yeah, just depends what you want. How to make friends as a new person in New York City? This is a great question, and honestly, when I first moved to the neighborhood that I'm in now, my roommate who I moved in with, Nicole, miss her, I miss living with her so much. She was new to New York entirely. So when she moved in, she found this Facebook group that was for girls who lived in this specific neighborhood, and low-key, like, I go in there sometimes. I saw so many girls making posts, like intros about themselves and just saying like, hey, I'm new here, I have no friends, like this is a little bit about me. And a lot of girls were like really engaged and, you know, making friends that way. So that is a great tip if you're a woman, but I'm sure there are groups in general like for everyone in different neighborhoods. So I would definitely look into that on Facebook. Just go out to local spots around you, bars, restaurants, and just see who you can run into. I really think the easiest way though is to have a hobby. Like going to shows obviously makes things so much easier. You will meet so many people by doing that. So I highly recommend tapping into your hobby. Tips on breaking into marketing. Trying to leave my current field and have always had a passion for brand strategy but no experience. Go find a smaller brand that wants to grow as much as you do. Low-key, this is how I have my freelance job with the Lunchbox. If you guys didn't know, I'm their head of TikTok and creator partnerships. It's one of my many side hustles, and I got that job because they needed someone. I wanted to gain marketing experience. It was like the perfect pair, and now I can say like in the 2 years that I've worked on the corporate side, I have learned so much by being in such a role that I would not be able to attain at a larger company unless I was like an assistant for years. I'm so grateful for that. So I think my #1 tip is to go to a smaller company rather than shooting for the big guys. And again, kind of going back to the music, getting into the music industry thing, have some type of like entrepreneurial, I don't know, portfolio with you. Like, do you work on a blog, or can you curate a social channel really well? Like, just have something to show. Even if you don't have corporate experience, have some type of like portfolio or something to show for it. How did you get into working in the music scene with Gary Area and the other companies that you work for? Again, it was literally just based off making friends along the way, to be honest. I did a TikTok on this, but actually I'll just insert it here because I feel like that was a really quick summary of how I got my job. So I started out in the industry by interning, and I got those roles through my undergrad program. I was in the music business program at NYU. It was very internship heavy. You had to get a lot of credits and internships to graduate. So I worked at a label, and I also worked at a digital marketing agency. So that built my initial resume, and then I graduated in 2020, which not the best year to graduate, if you know what I mean. So because there were no jobs in the industry, I just grinded really hard on my YouTube channel. I have a channel all about dance music and festivals, so I do like artist recommendations, lineup reviews, anything and everything to do with dance music and its festival scene. And in doing that, I met a lot of people, and one of those people was the boss of the team that I work on now. I actually started out as just a freelance video editor with them. They just needed someone who could edit like long form YouTube videos every week. And then the more time went on, we came out of the pandemic, they had more work, and now I'm an actual employee. So yeah, I work on marketing now for live events, just like a bunch of local shows and also festivals. Another one of our big clients is Elro, if you've ever been to one of those. And of course, Electric Zoo. So if you went this past weekend, I hope you loved it. And that is the super abbreviated version of how I got my job. I also still do some freelance work though, so for other projects, brands related to the festival industry, running social media, TikTok, all that good stuff. Favorite festival drug? Good vibes. What Red Rock show are you planning on going to this year? I have none planned right now because my only focus right now is just moving and obtaining this goddamn fucking apartment that I need to find. But I would love to do Red Rocks again this year. If Odessa announces a show there, I'm there. I would love to do Lane 8 if he does his Red Rocks run again. So I don't know, but I would really like to go back. Are you originally from Philly? No, I am not. However, my parents moved to PA like basically right before I went to college, so now when I go to visit them, like they're very close to Philly, so I'm very familiar with Philly. I grew up mostly in New Jersey. I also spent some of my childhood in England because I'm a dual citizen, so kind of went back and forth because both my parents are English. But no, I grew up mostly in Jersey, but I know Philly. I've been to Philly shows also a lot, and yeah, but I'm not from there. Not from there. I'm a Jersey girl. How do you feel about the Philly EDM scene? Personally, the crowd's not my favorite just because it's like extreme wookery. And there's only so much I can take, y'all. Like, it's just extreme wookery in Philly. However, I do love that the tickets are so fucking cheap to Philly shows compared to New York. But I don't like the venues as much. The people are nice. But it's just personally not my favorite. I prefer the New York scene. You ever think about having the ability to teleport? Babe, I am in a long distance relationship. I think about that shit all the time. What time do you usually go to bed? I am a grandma and I sleep so much every night. I start getting ready for bed literally at 9:30. I am in bed by 10 every night. And then I am glued to TikTok. It's my worst trait is that I'm glued to TikTok before I go to sleep. But yeah, I literally am in bed by 10. And that's okay. That is all of the questions, y'all. So if you guys ever want me to do another round of these, I'd be happy to. Some of these were really funny. Hope you learned something new about me other than my thoughts on festivals and lineups and vlogs and all that good stuff. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already. I have a ton of cool content coming for you guys this year, and thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.